Democracy is threatened. Hi, I'm Dave Arnott, the Christian Economist. Democracy is threatened, but not by Donald Trump. You may have noticed I separated the two parts of that word. That's to show the meaning of the word. It's a conjunctive word which comes from two Greek phrases. Demo means all, and cracy means rule. A democracy is where all rule. We don't have a pure form of democracy. We have a federal republic, but that's really not my subject today. My subject is democracy threatened? When the liberals and the oligopoly tech information suppliers say that the 74 million people who voted for Donald Trump don't rule, they have ended democracy by definition. Okay, what's this have to do with Christian economics? Well, just about everything. A free market capitalist system can only operate in a free democratic society. If the ruling party can control who speaks, then why won't they control what other consumptions you will make? Information, food, entertainment, clothes, housing, education? The Obama administration presaged this when they tried to control the type of food served in public school cafeterias. It didn't work, and it led to a large pile of food being thrown out. Why? Because it destroyed the market for food in public school cafeterias. Anytime you destroy a market, things go awry. Expect those same kinds of restrictions to resurface in a Biden administration. Let's be clear. Christian economists like markets because everybody gets to vote. Leftists don't like markets because they don't want everyone to vote. Christian economists assume what Francis Galton learned at the age of 81. It was, to quote the title of James Surowiecki's book, the wisdom of crowds. And Surowiecki says in this book, individuals are dumb, crowds are smart. And in the first 2 pages, he tells this wonderful story about Francis Galton. But these liberals who are now taking political power have determined the crowd is not smart. They have declared that half the crowd is deplorably dumb. Francis Galton invented the statistical technique of regression analysis. But before his, quote, road to Damascus experience as an octogenarian, he believed that the elite should lead the uninformed because they couldn't make decisions for themselves. He actually invented the term eugenics in 1883, and it led to the Holocaust just a generation later. Look, when a group decides the elite is more moral, smarter, or better than the deplorables, it leads to a loss of democracy and to the end of free markets. Look, Christians believe all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. The liberals believe that Donald Trump is more fallen than others, and further, that there's no redemption. I often stand in front of my economics class, my arms crossed on my chest, and I proclaim, the nexus of Christianity and economics is freedom. It's also the nexus of politics and economics. Free market capitalism depends on a free democracy to survive. And we are in the process of losing our democracy. We lost some of that freedom when President Trump was kicked off, then permanently barred from Twitter. To use a spiritual term, there's no chance for redemption for Donald Trump and presumably his deplorable followers. Apparently, there's no explanation he could make, no crying of uncle that would allow Twitter to accept him back. So, see, Christians, we believe in redemption. But the current high-tech cabal does not. It reads like a Greek tragedy. The bad wolf must be chased into the woods, forever cleansing the good society of the evils of the bad people. That leads to the end of democracy and to the end of free markets. James Madison said, if men were angels, no government would be necessary. 200 years later, Milton Friedman asked a socialist, where are you going to find these angels to run your utopian system? Well, they found them. The liberals believe they are angelic enough to run the system without those bothersome 74 million who voted for Trump. Now back to economics. You've already been told who can supply information and who can not. Twitter and Facebook have done that for you. Facebook and Twitter are good. Parler is bad. We're back to the Greek tragedy, aren't we? Joe Biden is good. Donald Trump is bad. The angels have declared it. Listen, a market is where everyone votes, is one of my favorite statements in my economics classroom. That's why economics is so democratic. If you want proof, I've more fleshed this out in podcast number 33 called Ending Discrimination, meaning you can't discriminate in a free market. You only hurt yourself when you discriminate. But back to my quote, a market is where everyone votes. That's one of my favorite statements. That's why economics is so democratic. Everyone gets to vote because everyone consumes. Every time you hear that beep in the checkout lane at Walmart, someone just voted. They voted for Heinz or Hunt's ketchup. They voted for the 32 or the 40-ounce bottle, 48-ounce bottle. They voted for $1.42 or $1.56. Everybody votes in a market. But this new gang of liberals who are now taking power in America, why would they allow 74 million deplorables to vote? They know what's best for you politically and economically. Look, here's a classic example. There's currently a shortage of COVID-19 vaccines. Economists love this stuff. See, some economists spend a lifetime calculating the increase in quantity demanded when a flat screen TV goes from $400 to $380. But this COVID thing, this is real scarcity. I mean, like there's not enough to go around scarcity. So economists just love this stuff. But here's our question. Do you think Trumpeteers will get the vaccine at the same rate as those who voted for liberal candidates? To put a finer point on it, do you think Nancy Pelosi would publicly declare that Donald Trump should receive the scarce vaccine at the same time as the other people in his demand group? This is what scarcity is about. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is talking about a media literacy initiative. Quote, we're going to have to figure out how to rein in our media environment so that you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation, end quote, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez said. Well, the first accused should be President Obama, who lied 37 times to the American public about Obamacare when he said, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. Clearly, disinformation and misinformation. Joe Biden figuratively and sometimes literally sat right behind President Obama as he told that lie 37 times. So Joe Biden should be the second on AOC's truth investigation list. All right, let's look at Christianity. How would the phrase, Jesus Christ is Lord, pass the committee we've been talking about? It's not scientifically proven. So it's disinformation and misinformation. What about other core Christian beliefs? The Virgin Mary got pregnant without having sex. Disinformation and misinformation. The Virgin Mary gave birth to a baby who was fully man and fully God. Prove that. That's disinformation and misinformation. Jesus died and came back to life. All those core Christian beliefs would be labeled disinformation and misinformation by the panel that AOC is suggesting because they can't be scientifically proven. Back to food supply. When the Obama administration tried to control the food supply at public school cafeterias, many of us fully expected we would receive a command for how much broccoli we must buy. I mean, broccoli is good for you. Why should you not be forced to buy it? If the angelic liberals decide it's good for you, you can certainly expect they'll force you to buy it. Listen, I bumped into a former student yesterday who's working security on campus during his last semester of study. When he told me he was going into law enforcement, I told him what I've told other police officers. Separating evil from good is one of the highest callings in society, and that's what cops do. But that applies to evil behavior. This new group of liberals who are taking power in America are separating good from bad speech, and maybe even thought. The liberals have become speech and thought police. How far behind can economic constraints be? And so the default is there will be economic constraints. You would have to make an argument for why they would stop at thought and speech. Look, Christians believe in freedom because we believe God, the greatest being anyone has ever conceived of, gave humans the freedom to accept God's offer of redemption. Thus, Christian economists believe we should be granted as much freedom as possible in our economic lives. The liberals don't agree. They believe they, not God, can separate evil from good. Their toadies in the press and the high-tech cartels have determined what information you will receive, and soon they will determine what products and services you'll buy. Democracy is threatened. I'm Dave Arnott, the Christian Economist, where our slogan is, fear God, tell the truth, earn a profit. See you next time.